Why does Sri Lanka attract tourists? Travel destinations in Sri Lanka provide an array of holiday experiences, from sun-kissed beach holidays to a marathon of wildlife watching. Adrenaline-pumping adventure sports and pilgrimage to some of the oldest cities in the world, and lastly, the street foods in Colombo. What attracts the tourists there? Tourists' expectations when visiting a particular place are related to several features of the chosen destination: culture, architecture, gastronomy, infrastructure, landscape, events, shopping, etc. These features attract people to the destination and contribute to the overall experience of the trip in Sri Lanka. Traditional Sri Lankan food is spicy. If you love spicy food, then you're certainly in paradise. This is because Sri Lankan cuisine is instilled with the generous use of chilies in most dishes. Sri Lankans use chilies in many different forms: powdered, dried, fresh, and even flaky. A staggering staff expenditure disclosed during Mahinda Maitripala periods. The details were obtained through the Right to Information Commission Directive. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa deployed a personal staff of 2,578 from 2010 to 2014 at the cost of more than 630 million rupees. Former President Maitripala Sirisena had an individual team of 1,317 from 2015 and 2019 at the expense of more than rupees to 850 million. An app for safety of tourists. Tourism and Lands Minister Mr. Harin Fernando said that a new mobile app would be introduced for the safety of tourists coming to Sri Lanka while promoting the tourism industry. He mentioned it will bring 1.5 million tourists to Sri Lanka, especially in 2023. The minister also said that for the safety of tourists, a tourist police team would be stationed at every coastline with tourist attractions. To tourists queuing up in Yala, many foreigners have come to visit the beauty of Yala after 2.5 years. The country's tourism industry had collapsed due to the country's lockdowns caused by the impact of the global COVID epidemic and the recent struggles in the country, and these conditions are now being alleviated. Gas shortage is over. 100,000 per day will be released. Litro company says that they will release more than 100,000 cylinders of domestic gas to the market in a week's time, ending the shortage of gas that exists in the past few days. Accordingly, the company announces that it has provided all the necessary facilities to consumers to purchase gas without shortage during the festive season. In the past few days, gas released to the market had been limited. It was due to the delayed arrival of the ordered gas ships to the country. The company says that the requested gas ships are currently reaching the country. President's 50 years milestone. A felicitation ceremony organized by legal professionals to celebrate President Ranil Wickremesinghe's 50 years long career as a lawyer was held at Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo a few days back. Desultory search for a solution to the Sri Lankan ethnic issue, reported by P.K. Balachandran. Colombo, December 5th, Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe will meet the Tamil parties of the north and the eastern provinces on December 11th to resolve the long-standing Tamil issue. Perhaps due to pressure from India and the West, plus the grave economic crisis in the country, the government and the Tamil parties are going for talks once again, despite the utter failure of the past attempts. But the chances of reaching an understanding this time round appears as dim as before. While the Tamil parties insist that they will not agree to anything other than a federal setup, preferably in the form of a new constitution, President Wickremesinghe has indicated that he is only willing to consider something less than a national setup. He has also stated that he prefers the devolution to districts rather than provinces. Devolution to provinces is anathema for the majority of the Sinhalese, but it is a must for the Tamils because they see the consolidation of their places of habitation as essential for their survival as a political entity. Devolution to districts will break Tamil unity, they fear. Tamils also see the Sinhalese as a political bloc and would like to face them as a bloc. Therefore, if Wickremesinghe proposes the district as the unit of devolution and offers district councils in place of the present provincial council, the Tamil parties will reject it. But still, there is a sense of keeping the dialogue going, and that is for two reasons. Firstly, the Western nations and India consider discussion necessary for geopolitical stability and keep pressing for it, while India is interested in keeping its southern flank peaceful and secure. The West is interested in co-opting Sri Lanka into an anti-China Indo-Pacific axis. This is besides the West human rights predilections regarding Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan rupees 200 million misappropriated in Tamil Nadu humanitarian aid rice transport. This was reported by Buddhika Samaravira in News in Asia. Colombo, December 6th, the morning. Although the stock of 40,000 metric tons of rice given to Sri Lanka by the government of Tamil Nadu as humanitarian aid in June 2022 could have been transported to the relevant district at a price of about rupees 6 per kilogram. The Food Commissioner's Department has paid a cost of about rupees 12 per kilogram to transport the said stock, which has resulted in the misappropriation of about rupees 200 million. Christmas cake is being made inside a ship in Hambantota port. The first stage of making the Christmas cake, a tradition from ancient times, was held on a Sri Lankan Navy vessel anchored at Hambantota Harbour. Hambantota International Port, Hambantota Shangri-La Hotel has contributed to the Christmas cake mixing process by starting the year-end Christmas season with festivity. Since many tourists are coming to Sri Lanka this winter, it is more important that the Hambantota International Port Group and the Sri Lanka Navy hold this event together. It is a matter of pride to be a part of this effort, and it is a pleasure to welcome two ships carrying more than 2,000 tourists to Hambantota International Port during the festival. China supports solving Sri Lanka's economic crisis together with the IMF. China says together with the International Monetary Fund and Sri Lanka, they will support the proper resolution of current financial situation. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mrs. Mao Ning said that this at a press conference in Beijing a few days back. A journalist said that it had been reported that a delegation of International Monetary Fund would visit China this week, where they will discuss with China the debt restructuring of Sri Lanka and other countries. Mrs. Mao Ning stated that China had maintained a good cooperative relationship with international economic and financial service institutions, including the International Monetary Fund. China has a good understanding of the difficulties and challenges Sri Lanka is facing. She also said that China is asking the relevant countries and international financial institutions to play an active role in reducing the existing debt burden. These are the current main news from Sri Lanka. Hope it was worthwhile. Stay safe and goodbye for now.